Hey, it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets, and I'm Ethan Van Sciver, your host, DC Comics artist for many years, and also the artist of this book that you're looking at right here, Green Lantern Rebirth #4, written by Jeff Johns, who is now DC's Chief Creative Officer, and inked by Prentice Rollins. Cover by me, and actually colored by not the interior colorist, who was Moose Bauman, but they got Peter Steigerwald, who was a colorist for Michael Turner and Top Cow Comics. I guess he's now at Aspen, and he does something interesting with this cover here, whereas some of the other covers are so saturated with green. Really, we've only got a tiny little glow here. Kyle Rayner is knocked out, and poor Green Arrow is trying his best to utilize the ring against an unseen foe, and it's not lighting up the room, is it? No, it is not. This cover was a thumbnail drawn by Pete Tomasi. He drew a stick figure thumbnail and told me what he wanted, and I did my very best to translate his thumbnail very literally to this cover. It's not my favorite cover of the bunch, but a lot of people liked it, and I was like, oh, good, I'm glad. So let's crack this book open. Right away, we see Sinestro from behind, and he is starting to look like the Sinestro that he is now, that he became shortly after this. I put a little thought in between issues 3 and 4 into who this guy was, because he's clearly very important to the Lanterns. And Jeff and I had a lot of conversations about him. He is arrogant. He is impassive and cruel. And as you see, I mean, he keeps his arms folded and he doesn't uncross them. He's working his ring. He's letting his ring do all of the work here because he has absolutely no respect for either of these two men. None. So here we have Parallax, Hal Jordan's corpse behind our two heroes. They're protecting it. But Sinestro is the one, he reveals, he's the one who set this whole plan in motion. He's the one who poisoned Hal Jordan with Parallax. And as you can see, poor Kyle, who's been beaten up over the last 3 issues, is barely holding his own against Sinestro, who's wielding the yellow power like a god would. I mean, you can see he puts up a shield, and the spikes just pierce the shield, and it actually hurts him. Poor Green Arrow is still poked with yellow construct arrows that Sinestro shot him with last issue. These guys are beat up. Poor Kyle can't even believe it. He thought Sinestro was dead. We all did. No, Sinestro's very much alive as he shatters Kyle's shield into a million pieces, and this is representative of Kyle's willpower, his will. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing compared to Sinestro. And we try to swing a sword at him as we're falling over. Boom. It's no good. Sinestro is way, way, way out of poor Kyle's league. Kyle is a young Green Lantern. Sinestro has been trained for a long, long time. And, he basically punctures Kyle Rayner's hand, his ring hand, to the floor and sticks him there. Sticks him there like a bug. Stay there. And now we're going to talk to Green Arrow. Green Arrow, the fool's friend. And Ollie is still tough. He's got one arrow in his hand. He's still, he's a pin cushion now. And he throws some shade right back. But it's no good. I mean, this idea to use skeleton constructs was one of mine. I thought that it was pretty cool. Just a good way. I mean, listen, the way these guys use their constructs is kind of represents how they think and the way they feel, and a lot of what's going on inside of them. And Sinestro, uses his constructs a lot to just do things, to get things done. And this is his hand, literally, like, or figuratively. I mean, it's mentally his hand just slamming Green Arrow against the wall right above poor dead Hal here, and just holding him there. So he's got the two heroes pinned down as he just tries to walk on by. Kyle removes the railroad spike looking thing out of his hand. I mean, that must be brutal. Must be incredibly painful. And yeah, Sinestro says, I never fathomed that the impurity was alive, that my accordion ring was tapping into sentient fear until the guardians imprisoned me inside the power battery. I saw it, and with the ring I spoke to it, and now I command fear. I bleed fear. Look at his hand. It's like you can see the Sinestro Corps symbol is starting to shape, the yellow lantern symbol, and behind it is Parallax's jaws, fiery impression of his memory of what Parallax looked like. And again, I mean, this is the way ancient beings who witnessed Parallax, the actual Parallax entity, this is how they remember him, is just his mouth and the shape inside of it, which apparently is something that's unforgettable and causes you to just feel fear and dread, and it just impacts you. But I just noticed this, his lower jaw is right here on his shoulder. That's pretty neat. I did good work. All right, so we're cutting away to where we were last issue. We've got Parallax, Hal Jordan. He has ripped, oh, look at this, disgusting. He's ripped Hal Jordan's flesh, his shell off of him. He's got Spectre ringing all around him, and yeah, trying to gain control of this situation. Yeah. And he just goes ahead and destroys the apartment complex. Ooh, vicious, yeah. And here comes Kilowog down on the ground. Gant throws him there. And I mean, I love stuff like this. This is just rock and roll. Again, let's utilize this symbol over and over and over again until people understand. This is the shape of fear. And that is a scary image. And, you know, look. Parallax gets everyone under his control. We've got, this is a great panel here. We've got Guy Gardner and we've got John Stewart zooming down here. John Stewart's constructs were starting to mean something to me. Knowing that John, learning, because remember, I'm new to the Green Lanterns here at this point. I'm drawing these characters. I'm learning about them. I'm asking questions. It's become something that Jeff and I wanted to do, where each lantern manipulates the energy in a way that's unique to them. John Stewart is an architect, and his energy flies all around him like a bitmap. A bitmap, like kind of a construction drawing. It's a perspective grid. It's, you know, it's as if he's building something. It's architectural. It's, you know, it's a design. Even his symbol is laid out in a grid, whereas Guy is a lot more. Jeff described him like a buzzsaw, just, you know, just sparks flying as if he's welding something all the time. Pretty good visual images, and they really set these characters apart. You know why do we have so many Earth Lanterns? Well, I don't know, but aren't you glad that we do? Because they all are also unique and also interesting. And yeah, Ganthet dispatches with them with a giant hand with DNA kind of signature here, whipping them, taking control of them and removing Parallax from them, just like that. Here's your willpower back, and you can see the yellow bleeding off of them, off of their energy signatures there. And Kilowog seems to be back as well. He's back to normal. And now we've got some of the boys. You know, we've got 3 of our boys together, led by Ganthet, and here is the imposing, terrifying Hal Jordan Parallax, and we know what he's capable of. We know what he's capable of because we read Final Night. And then all the superheroes doggy pile him. Yeah, this was fun to draw. Just everyone. Just, okay, well, we're going to have to do this all together, everyone. Let's go. And here we are back on the moon base. Sinestro's still fighting Kyle. Let's skip a couple pages here. I don't know. Let's go over here. We've got Kyle pinned down. And we've got Green Arrow, who, oh, maybe we can't skip this page. He's got his ring. He's got Hal Jordan's ring. And he's found Kyle's power battery. And he's going to try to charge. He's trying to remember the oath. It's very funny. But he doesn't really need it. He doesn't really need the oath. You know, the ring knows, and it's charging itself on the battery, so that's great. And here's poor Ollie in the hallway here, in the doorway. Sinestro might be about to finish off Kyle. Sinestro's, look, I mean, he's just taking it light. He doesn't care. Um, yeah, Ollie's gonna see if he can do it. And he musters all of his willpower, and this is what he can do. He can make this arrow, and you can see the little symbol in fire on his chest starting to form. Is he capable of being a Green Lantern? No, not really. I mean, kinda. He's able to make the ring work, which is more than, say, you or I could do. But he is not. We're trying to explain and show that these guys who use the rings are rare and unique, and not anybody can do it. Ollie can barely get it to work, and that's something. I have him sweating here, and I remember thinking about just the agony of this situation. I was actually oddly thinking about Christ in Gethsemane, just sweating out, blood and struggling to make this ring work. I really wanted to bring passion to this scene, like passion as in Passion of the Christ. I mean, just suffering to make this ring work. And it looks like this arrow is a big deal, but Pink, it's nothing. I mean, that's the best you could do. Is that all you have? Is that all your pitiful will can accomplish? Yeah, that's it. And Kyle has time to get up and push poor Ollie out of the way. Both of them are weak by what's going on. You can just see the blood, and they're torn to pieces. Torn to pieces. And Ollie says, forcing your willpower into the ring, asking it to give your thoughts life. Is that what it's like? Every time. Every time. Damn. But Kyle can do it. I mean, look at the blood. Ugh. These guys. Fight continues between Parallax and the Justice League and the JSA. There you go. That's what you get. Alan. And suddenly the Spectre shows up. And, yeah. And they come to pieces. They come into three pieces here. They separate. And I did it with a big kind of clapping motion here. Spectre's had enough. And there goes Parallax. That's what Parallax really looks like, as we've seen. It's a really nice drawing of him. And there goes Hal's ghost right here. And now everyone sees. Everyone sees. You all see what that is. Okay? That's the culprit, not him. This is the one who did it. And Hal's ghost is trying to command Spectre to destroy Parallax. And Spectre's like, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm all about, bro. And he takes off. And now we've got Parallax versus Ganthet. Look at little Ganthet sitting there as this being of corruption and evil takes over. Just takes over Ganthet. Really powerful character here. And Hal is just, look, without Spectre, without Parallax, it's, yeah, he's dead. He's dead. He's a ghost. He's got to go. So away we go. Ganthet throws him a lifeline. And this was the easiest page to draw in the whole series. This was fun. I only had to draw this. I had to draw these heads, that head, that. Whew, that was it. And this is all Moose Bauman coloring Heaven, coloring the tunnel to the afterlife, and just let him do it. Every now and then when you have a really good colorist who's great with the effects, you got to let him just have a guitar solo, and that's what this is. So, yeah, more Sinestro. This is great right here. This is great. Look how cool he is. Beg for your lives, and I will end them quickly. He's coming together, I'm telling you. By Sinestro Corps, we have a fully realized reinterpretation of a classic DC villain. But he's definitely coming together now. You can see it. You see the darkness in his face. He doesn't smile. I mean, having him smile in issue 3 was a big mistake that I wish I could go back and correct. But look, it's it is what it is. It's me learning, and it's me helping this character to evolve. We're evolving together. We're I'm discovering all of these characters and trying to make them my own. So, Green Arrow luckily had a ring, had one of Hal's rings, and it zips off his finger and goes right onto the corpse's finger, and he's back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, get the hell away from them, Sinestro. This is Hal Jordan as King Arthur. The he's speaking about his knights. He's speaking to a villain. He's got his gigantic symbol around him that's shaped a little differently than normal. I'm thinking of it as a shield almost. At this point, his hand is down as if gripping a sword, even though it's not. He is a warrior, and he's returned. He's returned by the force of will. Okay, so, let's go through these credits again. I mean, Jeff Johns, applause. This was a great issue. This was a really great issue with big stakes and a lot of things explained. And if you were waiting for this moment, I don't think it disappointed. Me on pencils, Prentice Rollins inker, and Moose Bauman colorist. And here we go again, Pete Tomasi editor. Really the heart behind all of this, the beating heart behind the return of Hal Jordan, and it wouldn't have happened without him. And then there's a advert for a horrible video game version of a terrible movie, I think. If this is a sequel to The Matrix, yeah, it's a terrible movie. Green Lantern Rebirth number 4. There you go. What did you think? You want to leave me any comments? Do you have any questions? Tell me what you thought about the evolution of Sinestro and how you can see him changing in this issue. Tell me how it made you feel to see Ollie using the ring, and do you think he'd be capable of more than that, or do you think Jeff Johns got it kind of right there? The return of Hal Jordan, did it stir your heart? And yeah, I'd like to know. So leave me comments. Please subscribe and hit that bell if you haven't already. Let me see here. I'm very close to, I'm 29 subscribers away from an even 4,000. So why don't you be one of those 29 subscribers that I need? That'd be great. And we will continue on today. I'm going to do a couple more videos. But here's some thanks from me to you. I really appreciate all your support. Take care. Bye.